Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Film Series Recap. Here today I continue to tell you about Erased. In the last video we talked about Satoru inviting KO to his birthday party. All he did was to save KO. On Saturday, Satoru wanted to ask KO to go out with him to the technology center, but KO's mother refused, saying that the two children should not go out alone. Satoru asked her out loud why KO was not allowed to go out. KO's mother asked KO's opinion and KO slowly nodded. Her mother was furious that KO did not listen to her and she raised her hand and slapped KO. At that moment, Satoru's mother appeared and stopped KO's mother's hand. Finally Satoru and KO went to the technology center on Saturday as planned. Satoru suddenly remembered that on that day 18 years ago, he came to the technology center by himself and met KO. Was he repeating the same thing? It was at this time that Satoru's classmates came to the technology center and gave Satoru some confidence that history would not repeat itself, because his friends were not there 18 years ago. March 1st, the day KO was victimized, the day before his birthday. KO was targeted by the killer, mainly because she was always alone and with him. KO is no longer alone. After dropping KO off at home after school, Satoru shouted out loud, "I'll come back for you tomorrow." He did this so that KO's mother or whoever was following KO could hear that KO was with someone, and he even got up late at night at midnight to sneak out in front of KO's house and wait for March 1st to end. The day passed without incident. The next day, Satoru's birthday, he still went to pick up KO early and went to buy a snack with her after school. When he came home, he found that some of his friends were already at home and there were two cakes, because Satoru and KO had the same birthday. KO suddenly burst into tears because she had prepared a birthday present for Satoru, but she had not finished it yet. Satoru said she would give it to him later. He gave KO a pair of gloves as a present and Satoru was so happy that he thought he had changed the story. The next day, Satoru rushed to school, but KO was absent. After school, Satoru rushed to KO's house, which seemed to have no one home. He went to the warehouse where KO was hiding, which seemed to have no one either, but surrounded by men's footprints. Who had come to KO's house? At school, the class teacher said that KO had been sent to his grandmother's house for family reasons, but Satoru certainly did not believe this reason. The homeroom teacher found Satoru and told him that KO was indeed missing, but wanted him not to tell his classmates yet. And after KO disappeared, another student from another school also went missing. Of course, Satoru didn't change anything. That day, Satoru passed KO's house after school and Satoru happened to see a trash bag thrown away by KO's mother. Inside the bag was an unfinished pair of gloves that KO intended to give to Satoru for his birthday, and Satoru turned around and ran off like a madman. The scene changes and Satoru is back in the present, at the scene of his mother's murder, and he runs away. He was not caught by the police, so he went under a bridge without knowing where to go. Eventually, the owner of the fast food restaurant where he worked took him in, but the case was then reported on television. It turned out that the owner knew about it and called the police. Satoru had to escape through the wall and met Irie Katagira, a high school student who worked at the fast food restaurant with him. Irie took him back to his house. Irie took out the magazine that Satoru had left in the diner some time ago. He learned that on March 3rd, KO died. Satoru's eyes widened. It turned out that the future has been changed, so will he be able to save KO by going back? The next day, when Irie finished work, the diner manager was talking to a man in a suit. Irie wrapped up a pizza and went home, but the diner manager secretly followed him outside Arie's house and found Satoru, who was indeed at Arie's house. Just as he was about to call the police, a hand reached behind him and took the phone from him. The person behind him was Irie. She did not expect the manager of the resto to be such a person. He clearly told Irie to give her help at first, but he secretly called the police behind her back. Now, Satoru can't live in Arie's house anymore. On her way home, she received a message that came from Satoru's mother. It said, "I am Satoru, don't move." But the smart Irie immediately noticed that it was the murderer who sent it, but before she could react, a thick smoke came out from under the door. Satoru returned to Arie's house and saw the smoke escaping. He rushed over without hesitation and saved Irie. Irie put the phone in Satoru's pocket, and the manager of the restaurant also rushed to save her. The manager of the restaurant told Satoru to go through the back door. After Satoru left, he took out Arie's phone from his pocket. Irie gave him the phone so that the police would not accuse him of setting the fire, otherwise he would have been convicted of murder and arson. The next day, Satoru contacted his mother's former journalist colleague, Makoto Sawada, who trusted Satoru. Makoto told Satoru about the kidnapping case that had taken place 18 years earlier, on the night of Satoru's birthday, March 2nd, when Ko had been beaten by his mother and father and locked in the warehouse. The police suspected the mother and father to have hidden Ko's body, but the prints around the warehouse were meant for Jun Shiratori, who was eventually imprisoned, but to this day, Satoru still insisted that Jun Shiratori is not guilty. At that time, Irie ran out of the hospital, called Satoru and asked him to meet him at the usual place, walking under that bridge. He had thought that Irie would not come, and after a long time, Irie finally came running with her injured leg, but unbeknownst to them, the police quietly followed Irie. Irie was in tears. He had promised Satoru that she had come alone, not realizing that she had attracted the police. Satoru said to Irie, "Of course I believe in you, and it is because you believe in me that I can continue to fight." But he vaguely saw a man with an umbrella in the rain, and those red eyes were identical to the man he met on the stairs at home. Could he be the real killer of his mother? Could he go back 18 years? See you in the next video. The link to part 3 is in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe my channel for more videos.